A very good afternoon. Thank you for watching UBC TV. My name is Crispus Arineitwe, and you are live on UBC Weekly News Roundup. Today is the 5th of May, 2025. Let's go into the bulletin. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni over the week pledged to stop the issues of casual laborers, create government-supported labor centers, and wake up the minimum wage bill to ensure the safety and rights of workers. The president, however, encouraged Ugandans to embrace commercial and intensive farming to create more jobs for the people in Uganda. He made the remarks during the commemoration of the International Labour Day celebrations in Karamoja's region district of Nakapiripiriti district. We have more of this report.
My name is Agnes Kim Atwoki. I'm the chairperson for women workers in Uganda who are trade unions and a national organization of trade unions in O2. So the issue of labor, one, our workers have always been given nearly free labor, because if you see what they are paid vis-a-vis, like while the minister was giving her speech, you find a worker getting only 3,000 shillings a day, which cannot even feed that person, cannot, especially in factories, cannot even give, it's not even transport enough to take a person. So you find that workers are working under hard conditions. That's why we have always, like we talked to the president, we want to have minimum wage to ensure that there is a starting pay for all our workers in the country. When the investors come, they know how much they are going to begin with, but they pay at their own will, which is not good. It's a violation of human rights. Even if you are one, when you are looking for a job, you want to say, how do I benefit? My labor vis-a-vis what I'm going to get, is it worth it? So most times our workers, their labor is like free. So they are violated, their rights are violated, they are cheated.
Thousands of workers from across the country gathered at Nakale grounds in Nakapiripiti district to commemorate the International Labour Day, a day to honor workers and celebrate their contribution to national development. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni was the chief guest. He began the celebrations by inspecting a parade formed by Uganda security agencies, including the Uganda People's Defence Forces, UPDF, Uganda Police Force, and Uganda Prison Services. The smartly dressed men and women in uniform performed an impressive parade in both slow and quick time. During the event, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni pledged to address the bottlenecks affecting workers' rights, including the issue of minimum wage, the continued use of casual labor instead of contracts, and the need to establish labor centers supported by the government.
Now, yesterday, I had a discussion with the workers' people. As they told you, we are going to discuss more in June, but internally within the cabinet, we are going to take up the issues also. The issue of the minimum job, or minimum wage. The issue of the tripartite. No casual labor. We shall end casual labor. And we are going to lock up all those employment agencies which go between the people, the workers, and the employer.
President Museveni highlighted the growth in job opportunities in the country, crediting the increase in factories, ICT, and service sectors.
As they gave me from you boss. There are 1.4 million workers in the factories. You check how many they were, 1986, those were in the factories. In agriculture, there are 3.6 million. Public service are 480,000, all the public servants. Therefore, even where we are now, the jobs in the private sector are many more than the jobs of the government.
He further encouraged Ugandans to take up commercial and intensive farming, saying it could generate employment for many more people within and beyond Uganda.
Not necessarily this, but maybe coffee, maybe other things, but intensive agriculture on on the 1 acre. $7 million out of the 40 million. Would create 105 million jobs. There will be so many jobs that you shall not have enough Ugandans to do them.
The president also criticized the opposition for spreading negativity and failing to acknowledge the progress made in pacifying Karamoja, a region that was largely inaccessible a few years ago.
The pessimism spread by groups like Monitor. Monitor is in Monitor. Is wrong, and they are going to be ashamed.
The Labour Day celebrations were held under the theme consolidating on the gains of the parish development model for increased productivity and inclusive job creation. Report compiled by Philip Aguta for UBC News.
Oh, His Excellency has concluded.
You are still tuned to UBC Weekly News Roundup this Sunday, 4th of May 2025. Now in more stories. Government commissioned the construction of the road which connects 3 refugee settlements in western Uganda. The 105 kilometers road will connect Ramwanja refugee camp, Chaka 1 and Chaka 2 refugee camps. The Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honorable Robina Nabanja, commissioned the construction of the road on behalf of the President at Bwizi Nikamwenge district. Jingo Francis reports this story.
Now once again, on behalf of the President of the Republic of Uganda, to officially launch the construction of Bwizi Chihura Mpara for God and my country.
Thank you. The 105-kilometer road will cover Chenjojo, Kihura, Bwizi, Rwamwanja, Kahunge, Mpara Bwizi, including 20 kilometers town roads in the districts of Kamwenge, Chenjojo, and Chegegwa.
OPM, I want to thank you. When they were planning, because the window was a refugee window, we requested OPM then. We said, you have Rwamwanja refugee settlement. You have Chaka 1 and Chaka 2. You bring heavy trucks to deliver humanitarian assistance. All of these trucks damage our roads. So that's how this road was accepted to connect to Mpara. I want to thank your office for understanding us.
This road was included in the NRM manifesto of 2016 and 2021 to be implemented under the Integrated Transport Infrastructure and Services Program. The Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, commissioned the construction of the road on behalf of the President at Bwizi in Kamwenge district.
The project will therefore be will therefore be critical in addressing the needs of refugees and the host communities, and will facilitate delivery of aid and essential goods, and improving access to services like healthcare and education, and promote economic opportunities for both refugees and host communities, while ensuring freedom of movement and facilitating social integration. Mwikirize ndagire Ministry ya Works eyanguye bwangu ebihandiiko tusobole kwongera tawuni zona tumale kukora ku tumanye nguko ahoire. So etawuni ezibaire zitali mu plan nkakamwenge nkuragira nazo bazigaitemu.
The road will also enhance tourism potential in Rwenzori region, targeting Kibale National Park, and will contribute to the development of tourism in the region, accounting to about 6% of the total number of tourists in Uganda.
As a tourism road, it will also enhance the tourism potential in the Rwenzori sub-region. 10 out of the 12 national parks are in the western region. The two proposed routes are adjacent to Kibale National Park and contribute to the development of tourism in the region.
The project is funded by the Islamic Development Bank and will be constructed by the Arab contractors. Minister Echweru also explains why Mityana Mubende Road has delayed.
From Mityana to Mubende.
Oruguto orwa Mityana kushika Mubende. Tugambe honangwa. Talk about it also. Tuachine mgongo.
Prime Minister, I can confirm to you the money entered the Minister of Works account just last night.
Nyechiro sentezo tuzitunjire omu account ya Ministry of Works.
As if they knew I was coming this way.
No shaba manyene nguninzo ko bagenda ngu.
I have called the leadership of Enago because they had even gone back to Europe.
It will reveal that a lot of government funds is lost in district roads into corruption. He promised to arrest all district leaders involved in stealing taxpayers' money.
But what we decided, Muzei guided us and said, let's give each district 1 billion shillings to support community access road improvement.
President akarashiramu yagira ngo katuhereze kutwara yo mu kunanka.
What some districts are doing, and I want you to listen to me very attentively, engineers. The money hits the account of the district, the 1 billion. They take all that money and put in one petrol station. Then the district engineer and the chief administrative officer withdraw that money as their pocket money and eat it. I'm going to come here to follow Muzei when he's coming for his PDM, and I will ask each one of you before the people to account for the last 3 years, the money that you have received, the roads that you have done, and the amount each road has taken. You will have to account before the population.
President PDM engineer district
Some of the recently completed road projects in the Rwenzori sub-region and the surrounding area include Kenjojo Kaboya Road, Kamwenge Fort Poto Road, Mubende Kakumiro Kagadi Road, Kenjojo Fort Poto Road, Fort Poto Hima Road, Hima Katunguru Road, and Ishaka Katunguru, among others.
Still this week, the Amnesty Commission over the week granted amnesty to 43 former ADF captives from the DRC. The 43 individuals received their amnesty certificates at the Ministry of Defense headquarters in Mbuya, Kampala. These individuals have been offered psychosocial support and hands-on skills as they integrate back into society. Tony Kent reports.
The Amnesty Commission has granted amnesty to the 5th group of former ADF captives and rescued individuals. The individuals have undergone 3 months of rehabilitation and skills training.
So this event is meant to, one, to graduate them, handle get them through the process of Amnesty. That's why we have Amnesty Uganda here.
The card we give you is your MasterCard, is a proof that you denounced rebellion, is a proof that you are a free person to live in this country.
The group received psychosocial support and hands-on vocational training, making them employable and better prepared for reintegration into society.
Hands-on skills, including motorcycle mechanics, repair, sewing, weaving, painting, elementary carpentry, shoemaking, and baking, amongst others.
This process has been supported by the Bridgeway Foundation in collaboration with the Uganda People's Defence Forces, UPDF. The foundation also aids reintegration by enrolling beneficiaries in formal education and vocational schools.
Many of our clients arrive traumatized, carrying the scars of violence and loss. Our psychologists help them process their experience, rebuild their confidence, and envision a new future.
As our role, our duty is to make sure we link these people to government intervention. They need to be linked to programs like PDM, such that they're in a position to benefit from what the government is offering.
These rescued captives are now instrumental in defection messaging campaigns, serving as ambassadors to those still in fighting, encouraging them to abandon rebellion.
They shared the stories of redemption and hope, urging their former comrades to abandon extremism and choose peace. This dual approach, defection, messaging, and rehabilitation, feed into a larger strategy of weakening ADF's capacity to commit mass atrocities.
Amnesty is granted only once. There is no second chance. The UPDF has confirmed that since the 2023 incidents, there have been no such attacks. Several ADF commanders have been killed, and operations to dismantle terror cells continue. Tony Kent Chaze, UBC.
Now in more news, mourners continue to gather in large numbers at the home of businessman Dr. Sudhir Ruparelia in Kololo, Kampala, this Saturday following the tragic passing of his only son, Rajiv Ruparelia, who died in a fatal car accident early Saturday morning. The family confirmed the news through a 5-member funeral committee chaired by Andrew Mwenda, who is serving as the official spokesperson during this difficult period. Let's see more.
Among those who came to pay their respects were close family members, friends, employees from the Ruparelia group of companies, government officials, and other dignitaries. The sudden news of Rajiv's death quickly spread across the social media and news platforms, prompting an outpouring of grief from across the country. Rajiv was reportedly from overseas to attend the wedding of his close friend, Jonathan Bahizi Butera, son of former Deputy Chief Justice Richard Butera, which was scheduled to take place on Saturday at All Saints Church, Nakasero.
So he was going to Munyonyo so that he can drive in the convoy with a groom to All Saints Church this morning. And that's when the accident happened.
Mwenda added that further funeral arrangements and a tentative burial program will be communicated after the arrival of family members and close friends flying in from abroad.
It's difficult to decide when the burial or cremation can take place because of the circumstances. I can say the following things. The body was really burnt beyond recognition. So right now it is at Uganda Funeral Services where they're supposed to make whatever they can make of it or try to recreate his face at least. Right now people are still in shock, trying to recover from shock. So once the parents and family have recovered from the shock, we will have to sit and decide whether there should be a cremation or leave the body to be buried the way it is.
That it is going to touch so many lives, and Rajiv will always be remembered through every life, this kind of education is going to touch. So I have worked with him.
The atmosphere at the Kololo residence was heavy with sorrow as people from all walks of life came together to console the Ruparelia family and honor Rajiv's memory.
I came close to Rajiv was when we were discussing the issue of the Rosebud, their flower farm, and the exports of the flower farm, and they wanted incentives. And that was my first time to come close to him. And I want to say that I had a great exchange of time with him. Today I've come to their home without Rajiv, and yet the first time I came here, I was led to this home. Direction was all given to me by Rajiv himself.
It was so sad. All of us were still in shock. We don't know what is going on. It's like a dream. It's like a dream.
Preliminary information indicates that Rajiv died at the Busabala flyover traffic lights in the Machinde Sabagaba Wakiso district. His Nissan GTR, registration number UAT 638L, reportedly struck a temporary pavement, overturned and caught fire. He was en route from Kajans to Monyonyo at the time of the incident. By the time of filing this report, police had not yet issued an official statement regarding the exact cause of the accident, as mourners continued to arrive at the residence. Rajiv Ruparelia, a budding businessman and motorsport enthusiast, is remembered for his ambition and vibrant spirit. His journey cut tragically short.
He was a seasoned driver, but the factors that were beyond his control, I think, with everything. I can't speak much on it, as I'm not police or anything. I'm just a friend at the end of the day. I've known him since he was maybe 4 or 5 years old.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Now, still this week, the Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement, Richard Todong, has underscored the importance of rehabilitating and integrating inmates into poverty alleviation programs as a strategy to reduce crime across the country. Todong made the remarks while visiting Luzira Upper Prison, where he held engagements with local council leaders, prison officers and inmates. During the visit, he delivered a lecture titled "A Lecture of Opportunity." Let's see more of this report.
The NRM Secretary General Right Honorable Richard Todong has paid a courteous visit to Luzira Upper Prison.
As part of the professionalization in the forces, every unit and every department is expected to keep renewing knowledge to their men and women. So they invited me to talk to them about our thinking of governance and the story of NRM with Uganda.
The one-day visit by the Secretary General of the National Resistance Movement Party, Richard Todong, to Luzira Upper Prison provided a platform for interaction between the NRM Secretariat and prison stakeholders.
And so today you are here to give them something about the government agenda to a modern and transformed economy.
We are now going for elections. If the population is not sensitized, we are going to have problem with the election. Because the election is through secret ballot. How you exercise your civic rights, civic duties, they should be taught.
Todong encouraged officers to embrace their roles in promoting rehabilitation and reintegration efforts. He also reiterated NRM's dedication to fostering good governance, national development and patriotism.
Ugandans are having symptoms of secondary poverty, not primary poverty. Primary poverty is when you totally lack, you don't have. But secondary poverty is a poverty of choice.
Highlighting the need for inclusive policies that support all citizens, particularly the vulnerable.
So yes, access to opportunities to the rural areas, we are moving so well. We have given road equipment to every district, and we're giving them money every financial year to open feeder roads in the villages.
The visit sparked conversations among local leaders who expressed concern over the limited access to quality education, health care and social services within the prison system and community.
Yeah, we've got the issue of PDM. Yes, it's true. PDM is designed to focus at parishes. And some of these barracks are within parishes that are shared by those who are not in the forces. So there has always been some small friction between them and the community. So they are asking through the leadership that if the men and women in the forces can be considered separately so that they handle their PDM through the barracks, through their administration.
Todong was accompanied by area resident district commissioner and regional police commander.
We have attached the very depth of our hearts and souls with the story of your early childhood life in Ghana Prison Service. One of the core values of the Ghana Prison Service is oneness. We are a family, and no wonder you have always kept us at your heart as a service.
I am grateful for the lecture, and I'm grateful for the invitation that was extended to me. Uganda Prison Service is well organized, and I thank the Commissioner General of Uganda Prison Service for this wonderful environment he has created and for the unity I see in the force.
Overall, the visit underscored the value of collaboration among government institutions, prison authorities and community leaders in supporting the reintegration of inmates and improving correctional services. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
You are still tuned to UBC TV. My name is Crispus Arineitwe. The uptake of science courses continues to produce more health practitioners in this country. This was revealed at the graduation ceremony of Mukono Diocese School of Nursing and Midwifery. Let's see more of this report.
The Mukono Diocese School of Nursing and Midwifery Sciences has proudly graduated over 400 students with diplomas and certificates of various health disciplines. The colorful ceremony was graced by the Archbishop of Mukono, His Grace Enos Kagodo, alongside several dignitaries from the health and education sectors. In his address, the Archbishop emphasized the importance of applying the knowledge and skills acquired during training to the ever-evolving competitive job market.
Emulate those who have been before you, and I believe that as we continue to improve and continue educating, we are even getting more and more or better and better products from this School of Nursing and Midwifery.
So need the best. We want to produce holistic people who will come out when their presence makes a lot of meaning. And that's to you, dear graduates. We want to produce people when they serve, people will appreciate. That will come out very well when your presence makes a lot of meaning.
He reminded graduates that their professionalism and dedication would be essential in improving service delivery within Uganda's health sector. Speakers at the event encouraged the new health professionals to uphold ethical standards, work with compassion, and be agents of positive change in the communities they serve.
Yeah, the science courses have been encouraged to be taken up just because of the availability of the jobs in the market compared to the art subjects. We hope that when people have been able to take up sciences, many of them have been able to get employed. This institution becomes unique, Mukono Diocese School of Nursing and Midwifery, by the fact that for it really have the blending of the spiritual bit, where the student normally is trained skills with the spiritual welfare.
Actually, from childhood, I liked being a doctor. So when I went to secondary level, I looked at the sciences were very hard. But then I was like, if at all God makes it for me, I pass, I'll use senior 4 and I use that chance. So when I came here, I wanted the course. I really wanted to help people I really need. Hospitals, we need to help people. People are ill. So they need people to be there for them, to help them. I liked that.
The graduation marked the significant milestone, not only for the student but also for the institution, which continues to contribute to the strengthening of Uganda's health system.
UBC News. The Vicar of St. Peter's Church, Naguru, Reverend John Musa Lakor Onain, has called on religious leaders to embrace a holistic gospel of transformation which addresses both social and economic spheres. Reverend Onen encourages churches to explore ways of impacting the lives of young people, particularly through the establishment of skilling centers on church property, providing valuable opportunities for growth and development. We have more of this report.
Apart from focusing on spiritual growth and advocating for social change, Reverend John Musa Lakel Onen, the vicar of St. Peter's Church Naguru Church of Uganda, urges religious leaders to play a pivotal role in driving economic transformation through a holistic gospel.
75% below the age of 35. Oh, I think we as a church need to be intentional about reaching out, seeing how we can be useful, how we can be able to transform, allow transformation in our society. Let us send the gospel with skills and abilities which will enable people live godly, fruitful, and meaningful lives. Amen.
The vicar believes that churches have a significant role to play in the economic development of communities by tailoring the gospel to meet the diverse needs of various societal groups.
There is a promise that we as a church have for the community. There is a promise that we ought to keep, to be good witnesses for Jesus Christ. And a witness, a good witness, is one who impacts the lives of people, not just spiritually, not just socially, but even economically.
At St. Peter's Naguru Church of Uganda, the administration is working to revitalize a skilling center aiming to provide young people with opportunities to acquire skills and enhance their livelihoods.
Open up to the whole community. We have a few sewing machines. There are young ladies, even men, by the way, who can learn how to knit sweaters, who can sew clothes, hairdressing. We have opportunity for people to come and learn how to make sweaters, plait hair, make shoes. And these are all practical skills. Because you see, the thing is this, many people will go to school, and there are some here who have gone to school, yes, but after school they were unemployable.
Religious leaders are reminded that their role extends beyond spiritual guidance. They also have a duty to empower their communities economically, fostering financial independence and encouraging sustainable growth.
The Mbale network of young people living with HIV/AIDS has called on the government to increase funding for HIV services following the withdrawal of US support through USAID. This was at the annual meeting in Mbale this week. Let's see more.
Review meeting at Mbale District Headquarters, MENYAP Executive Director Peter Mweru expressed concern over limited government funding. He noted that although the district increased its HIV service budget from 0.4% to 0.5% for the financial year 2024-2025, the allocation remains insufficient.
Following the executive orders from President Trump, we have seen some of the USAID partners freezing funding. And now it means that for us as the network of young people, actually this is the time for us, we need to push government to ensure that it takes over some of these expenses in terms of health, in terms of procurement for the drugs, in terms of procurement for HIV prevention services, and even including the sexual reproductive health services like PAC.
Mweru highlighted the valuable role of community health workers in providing services, but warned that without adequate funding, young people could miss out on critical care.
If the reduction of this funding continues, it means that we're going to be in a community where we have very few health workers, people like the YAPs, the low-income peer supporters, people like the mentor mothers, they're not going to be there.
Efforts has to be done in community sensitization. So the district should allocate enough funds to ensure to facilitate the people who can reach to many young people in the communities.
Robert Wandwasi, the district AIDS focal person, reported that peer educators have withdrawn due to lack of facilitation, disrupting services for young people living with HIV/AIDS.
Most of these peers were supported by the budget from USAID. So definitely these younger people now Most of them have gone back to their communities, and they are not really supporting us at the facility, because we can't be able to facilitate them given our small budget which comes to the facilities.
Meanwhile, District Planner Magomu Abdallah revealed that Mbale has launched a nutrition action plan for people on RVs to help them live healthier lives.
We have put aside some money for nutrition, and we have a nutrition action plan, a district DNAP, for 5 years, where we are logically implementing activities towards feeding.
One was also urged parents to use the holiday period to speak openly with their children about HIV, noting that only 42% currently engage in such conversations.
Our parents, please have some time, have some quality time talking to your children so that they can be able to get this message seriously.
Stakeholders believe that with increased collaboration and government involvement, Uganda can achieve its goal of eradicating HIV by 2030. Story compiled by Muhammad Iga for UBC News.
UBC Weekly News Roundup takes a short break and returns in a bit.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. MTN kabo the Super mustairompia. Then you kabo the smartphone nebi yakabibiona. MTN kabo the Super mustairompia. Then you kabo the smartphone nebi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest mpora in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort, and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
Hey, Kajambo. Where are you going with the family? Oh no. We are on our way to the polling station. The Electoral Commission is displaying the National Voters Register. And I need to make sure my name is on it. And Sophie here wants to confirm her voter details. We are all warming up for elections. What about these young men? I can see you. These ones are no longer boys. They are now men. Last election, they were too young to vote. But now, they are ready to vote. Mukasa, you have really inspired me. Now let me also go home and pick my wife, so that we can check the details in the register. Okay. See you on the polling station.
The National Voters Register will be displayed at your polling station from 25th April to 15th May 2025. Please do not miss this chance to confirm your polling station and your voter details. Report the dead for removal from the register and those who appear more than once. Every vote matters. This message is brought to you by the Electoral Commission of Uganda.
Ennaku ssatu ez'omuziki enseko n'okuzuula nga weetooloddwa obulungi bw'obutonde nga kw'otadde n'abayimbi abasingayo mu Afrika. Zina ate onyumirwa obulamu mu kujaguza obuwangwa bwa Afrika obujjuvu ng'obutonde bwe bukuzza obujja. Tukwaniriza mu Milege. kuzanga bw'onyumirwa obulamu omuziki sinema ebyokulya engero n'emboozi Milege World Music Festival 2025 okuvanga mukaaga paka nga 8 mu mwezi gw'omukaaga ku Botanical Gardens Entebbe okugula tiketi nyiga star emu mukaaga 5 star 2 noti hash londako Milege World Music Festival 2025 ogoberere endagiriro oba kuba ku noti 752 oba tukyalire ku website yaffe www.milege.org. Biwagiddwa Entebbe Municipal Council, Uganda Wildlife Education Center, Uganda Wildlife Authority, Civil Aviation Authority, Uganda Tourism Board, Rock Telecom, Ovidian Uganda, 106.5 Energy Radio, Protea Hotel Entebbe, and UBC.
Special announcement from the Baseline Education Census 2025. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and Sports, is conducting the Baseline Education Census 2025. This exercise will cover all learning institutions in the country for both government and private establishments, namely pre-primary, primary, secondary, vocational, and higher institutions of learning. The Baseline Education Census exercise data collection is being conducted in a phased manner, starting with Greater Kampala Metropolitan Area, comprising of districts of Kampala, Mukono, and Wakiso. The rollout to all other regions will commence at the beginning of second term. The Baseline Education Census collects information on learners, teachers, and school facilities to facilitate planning and policy decisions in the education sector. Uganda Bureau of Statistics appeals to the general public, heads of schools and institutions, as well as the local government authorities to cooperate with the BEC enumerators. In a special way, UBOS appeals to all parents of the learners to support the exercise by availing learners with their correct date of birth, national identification number, and learner's identification number. For more information, please call 0772 933 628 or 0743 787 189 from Dr. Chris Mukiza, Executive Director.
You are still tuned to UBC TV. My name is Crispus Arineitwe, and now into the business segment. Uganda is taking a major step towards sustainable industrialization with a shift in how paper is produced. Leading this transformation is Modern Laminates, a factory championing the recycling of waste paper and the use of bamboo to manufacture eco-friendly paper products. The State Minister for Investment and Privatization, Evelyn Anita, says this initiative not only addresses environmental concerns, but also supports the government's goal of reducing paper imports and creating jobs. We have more of this report.
At the center of Uganda's industrial development, Modern Laminates is redefining paper production. By recycling waste paper and using bamboo, a fast-growing renewable resource, the factory produces a variety of paper products, ranging from packaging materials to stationery.
Now we have ventured into producing virgin craft paper out of wood. Wood is available here in Uganda in plenty, and we are going to also grab the opportunity of planting bamboo here. We have our own tissue culture lab where we are going to make seedlings of bamboo, which we are going to outsource to outgrowers in the region and also in other regions.
This innovation supports the government's drive to cut reliance on imports and promote local manufacturing. Uganda reportedly spends an estimated 80 billion shillings annually on paper imports. Modern Laminates is working to reduce that cost significantly by offering high-quality, locally made alternatives.
Over 15 million school-going kids depend on scholastic materials. Now, all the scholastic material manufacturing companies in this country, they have been importing the virgin paper to be able to make those exercise books. This is going to be normal because they would be able to buy this.
The factory already employs over 400 Ugandans, with plans to expand its workforce as production scales up. It is a project that aligns with the broader national agenda for industrial growth and economic self-reliance.
We are going to substitute imports of more than $80 million each year for the country, and we are going to also export $40 million worth of craft paper to other neighboring countries.
And that means reduction on import bill and increase on our export bill. And that only means also more jobs for Ugandans.
From recycling to bamboo-based solutions, modern laminates is not just making paper. It is shaping a greener, more sustainable future for Uganda. This initiative has also played a key role in the development of Buikwe Industrial Park, now home to 9 factories, producing a wide range of products. From automobiles and pesticides to textiles, tires, wires and steel products.
By the way, in MMP, we also have seen today that they're doing the insecticides or pesticides. These are all things that we need in Uganda. And I want to really congratulate the proprietor of MMP, who has gone out of his way to go out to India to attract quality investors to come and do for us this.
What we have also done is we have created training institutes within the park where we can train the labor, local labor, and which makes our projects more sustainable for long term.
As Uganda pushes forward with its economic transformation, Modern Laminates stands as a shining example of how innovation and sustainability can fuel progress. Henry Okrut, UBC.
UBC News. Agriculture remains the backbone of Uganda's economy, employing the majority of the population and contributing significantly to the country's GDP. This afternoon, we take you to Budonga in Impenja Sub-County, Gomba District, where farmer Moses Kazibwe is making a remarkable impact through large-scale farming. Take a look.
Agriculture is Uganda's economic mainstay, engaging nearly 70% of the working population and contributing approximately 24% to the national gross domestic product. Crops like coffee, Uganda's leading export, support more than 1.7 million households across the country. At MK Mixed Farm in Gomba District, Moses Kazibwe is tapping into the sector's potential. On his 480-acre farm, he practices diversified farming, growing coffee, producing animal feeds, and rearing livestock, among other activities. Coffee cultivation covers over 10 acres of his land.
I would encourage Ugandans to plant the ordinary coffee, which is this one, because it is stronger compared to our environment. Why not the other type? You know, the other type, life expectation of the other type, which I don't want to mention here, I've been hearing from people. Actually, I have a 4-acre plantation of the other new one called cutting. We planted 4 acres, but we only remained with only 3 plants due to hot seasons. We never had enough water to water it. So with this one, you can see, if you rotate your camera, you see the coffee bean. Yeah. So it has no issues. Demand of water is not as much as the other new type.
However, Kaziwe cautions fellow farmers against excessive fumigation and the overuse of chemical pesticides, warning that such practices can harm crop health and reduce yields over time.
We encourage Ugandans also to reduce on spraying in their farms. Basically here in Buganda, due to less labor, people are using a lot of chemicals to spray in their gardens. This is the main cause of killing our soils, the fertility in our soils. So basically now, since we have these new mechanized equipments for agriculture, we encourage them to use those small mechanism, the small tractors for plowing, for weeding, etc., such that we can maintain our land for the other group and other people to come after we have have gone off.
Another key focus at MK Farm is animal feed production, which occupies more than 100 acres. Crops like Guatemala grass are grown to sustain his livestock enterprise. Kaziwe underscores the importance of growing feed crops to ensure sustainable livestock farming. He also highlights the value of irrigation, advising farmers to prioritize water access, especially during dry spells, to keep their farms productive year-round. Motivated by the government's efforts to promote agriculture, Kaziwe believes that with ready markets for agricultural produce, farming remains one of Uganda's most promising economic ventures.
So we are targeting tourism, agriculture, trade, and culture. Why these four? In most televisions we watch all over the world, people talk about riots in Africa, killings in Africa, disease, sicknesses in Africa. But I have two men I admire in Africa, Museveni and Ibrahim Traore. These guys are trying also to bring the African image on the site so that people see Africa as a beautiful one. I salute the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Museveni, and Ibrahim Traore. If the two would sit on one table and plan for other African leaders and give them ideas that these two have, Africa would be the best continent to live in.
Marion Awori and Tony Senabulia for UBC.
Now in more news, the Assistant RDC Jinja District, Sam Kauta, has warned nurses on the misuse of PDM funds, saying they will pay heavily. He was at Buseda grounds addressing locals who are training in poultry management aimed at alleviating poverty in the region. The national poultry management expert Joshua Chibwika called for government support, mainly to local farmers. Let's see more of this report.
Opportunity to thank Mr. Chibwika for that tremendous work that he's doing. He has trained our people how to keep poultry. He has taught them how to treat. He has taught them how to manage them in their houses. He has taught us how to be clean. We have got the training we have got from Mr. Chibwika. Uganda implemented that he was given a vehicle by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. We are going to make a follow-up. I'm not so sure whether the President gave you that vehicle. I'm not so sure. But we are going to make a follow-up. If we realize that that vehicle was given to you and it didn't reach you, we shall take serious action. I know you've talked about leadership of Busoga. I know Basoga. I know very well, but we shall make a follow-up. Then the other issue of PDM. We have got very many people not complying with the guidelines of PDM. You give him 1 million, tomorrow you will see him with another wife. Tomorrow you will see him buying a woofer, buying a mattress. That money is not for buying mattresses, you people. It is not for buying woofers. It is for that activity, that enterprise that was given to you.
Joshua, a trainer of poultry management in Eastern region and Uganda at large. First of all, I thank the President for the support that he has backed me in in conducting this program across the country. We have come to so many achievements with the poultry farmers. Most of them have taken children to school through poultry management. Challenges that I'm finding is that the President supported me in this program with transport so that I can avail weak farmers, like we have elders, we have disabled, we have the youth who cannot manage even constructing, carrying blocks to build poultry houses. President remind him that the support he gave me, the vehicle and supporting the children that were given jobs in State House have not received those things yet. Yet the things are laid out.
just searching, still deciding, what am I watching?
We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable.
I'm at my business, enjoying success, nachusa address, all about progress.
We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable.
That was to it. With what internet? 4K HD, non-stop action.
We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable.
Jerry car.
With MTN. We are what? Unstoppable.
With you and MTN together, our progress is unstoppable.
We are what? Unstoppable.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes Peter, full speed, light hands red, and he's gone through. Oh, wow!
The Uganda Police introduces the Automated Express Penalty System, EPS Auto, powered by ITMS. Fair, fast, final, and always watching. Don't argue with the road. Just check, pay, move on with the UPF Mobi app. ITMS. Safe roads, safe nation.
You are still tuned to UBC TV. My name is Crispus Arineitwe. And now going to the sports sector. On Saturday, 3rd May 2025, at the Uganda Olympics offices in Logogo, 8 members were voted in by different sports representatives. These included former and active athletes who have represented the country before. 4 male and 4 females were chosen to spearhead the Uganda Olympics Athletes Commission from 2025 to 2029. The Commission's specific aim is to represent athletes' interests, provide support, and promote athletes' development. Male Athletes Commission election members elected include Boj Shadiri with 41 votes, Okorach Michael with 40 votes, Mugula Ganzi with 37 votes, and Diwalana Hamza with 28 votes. Female Athletes Commission members elected include Nabutebi Letitia, who claimed the most votes for the female athletes with 37 votes and was joined by Mokisa Desire, who garnered 27 votes, Shida Leni 22 votes, and former Olympic swimmer Jamila Lunkuse with 21 votes. These 8 successful members will be joined by 2 others that will be nominated by the EXCOM to make 10, who will then elect their chairperson and secretary. Let's see more.
Of the Uganda Olympic Committee, please support.
And I'm actually talking about this Athletes Commission. Today we've had our elections where athletes from the 34 member federations that are affiliated to the Uganda Olympic Committee came together to vote their best athletes, vote their voices, I should say. And I happen to be now among the newly elected members. Within the Athletes Commission, we are 8, but of course we shall wait for EXCOM to add to appoint the 2 members that will be to make the numbers 10. Then we shall have the chair and the secretary. The elections have been actually insightful. People have participated. People have been, you could see there was a lot of energy. Athletes actually were raising concerns here and there. Their voices, I think, were out, and this is, I think, is a better achievement going forward if athletes can come out and speak and also can vote wisely like they did today. Within the Athletes Commission, the members that have been elected, I think, like we said, with the voices of the athletes, and I think we should advocate for that going forward. We shouldn't just leave it here because of elections. We should actually advocate for that. We should be the voice for athletes. We should we should secure their future. I should say. We should work hand in hand together as a team to see that their voices are heard, both locally and internationally. And yeah, we look forward to working with the athletes and also to be their voices, like I said.
It's been a pleasure having you throughout this entire bulletin. My name is Crispus Arineitwe. From me and the rest of the people behind the cameras, we want to wish you a very good afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.